Hi everybody, this is echotransformer. This is a tips and tricks video of the Boosticus kits. I wanted to show you some of the undocumented features of the kit as well as give you a few guidelines on installing some of the parts. They could be a little tricky. So we'll get started. I'm going to actually show you on the retail version of the kit. This is the production version of the kit. I'm going to show you what it's like to install Vortex's hand and Brawl's foot because they're both got a couple little tips and tricks. So basically what's going on here is installing this little hand mount can be tricky. So I'm going to split it apart and take it out and then put it back in and show you what that's like. So the key here is that this actually fits underneath the knees, this T-bar, and then we've actually got a couple of little posts on either side, and those actually go in the sockets behind the knees, and then we've got two little pegs here, and those help close the halves of the helicopter's front body. So again, the most important thing to do initially is to try and get that T-bar in there deep inside the knees. So I'm just going to kind of pull this together and make sure it's nested deep inside there. And then I'm going to somewhat close this. Then I start to close the other part. And then what you do is you look here to make sure you're putting the posts in the little sockets up in front of the helicopter, and then as you do that you just close the two halves and the fist is installed. So there you go, that's one part done. And in terms of installing Brawl's foot, it can be a little tricky, so I'll just show you. I'm going to pop the foot off here, just the leg off. There we go. So the key here is to actually make use of the ankle articulation. So if you don't, what you'll probably find is you're trying to push this on, this wall is in the way. So the tip here is to actually lift up the foot like that, hold it, and then as you put the arm on, you're looking for the hole in his fist to line up with the horizontal post right here. So what you do is leave it in the up position like this at an angle, hold it, and then make sure you're lining up the tab here, and then once you're ready, kind of tab that all together. It's nice and secure, and then you're good to go. The thing I want to show next is kind of an undocumented feature, and I'll tell you a bit more about it, and that is what's going on at the back. So I actually did design in a feature so that you can take the large gun here and install it. And it didn't get into the instructions and it didn't get talked about too much because I wasn't 100% confident it would work with all kits. So the reality is it can't work with all kits. It works with retail, SDCC, and the G2 versions of the kits. And the reason why is Hasbro Takara actually made a little change in the way this socket works in the gun. But for the retail kits and the SDCC and the G2 kits, you can do this, and it's nice because it fills out the back of Boosticus. You can see he looks quite open there, and I always wanted that to be more filled in and more bulky. So you can see there's a little post up here. There's a little 5mm post in there, and there's the socket here, and literally all you do is you just push this up in, and it snaps on that there, and then you can see the gun is held in place, and you can put weapons there or whatever. So kind of a nice little extra feature that I wanted to let you know about. And I'll show you a couple things on the Takara version. This is the Japanese version. It has really, really nice paint, shiny paint. This is a custom painted version of it, but the production version is shipping very soon. And what I wanted to show is a couple things again in terms of posing and a couple of undocumented features. So the first one is actually there is articulation in the ankles, as I was pointing out with installing Brawl's foot. So some people may not realize that, some people that don't have the kit yet. Sometimes you have to actually push on the ratchets a little bit to get them to pop up. But it's kind of nice because then you can do more A-type stances with them. So just wanted to let everybody know about the little ratchets in there, and then they just kind of pop up and down. So they're pretty straightforward. The other thing is the credit goes to TFW user Cheem the Rupp is his name, on another way to do Vortex's arm, which gives you 90 degrees elbow bend. So already you get the full 90 degrees with blast off. But with Vortex, it's always kind of limited because the cockpit's in the way. So you can actually rotate this 180 degrees. So normally I tend to show it like that. you can actually rotate this around, and what you do is you take his little waist skirt here and you can pivot it up, and then as you pivot it up you can actually rotate the arm like that, and that's kind of neat. You can get a little more interesting poses with him with the waist folded around backwards. And the last thing that I wanted to show was actually related to the guns. So we've seen a lot of really nice pictures from Transbot, so credit goes to Transbots for sorting this out. Again, kind of a undocumented thing, not totally planned, but works out really well, and that is the guns. You'll often see the guns angled forward. How are they doing that? Well, I'm just going to gently pop this off, and I'll show you a couple of features. So if you look in the backpack, there's two triangles and sort of a neck point here. And on the actual guns themselves, there's 3 posts and a snap tab. So what you want to do is take the snap tab and pop it over top of this little bar here and push it straight down from the top. And you see it actually pops. And now you can see these actually pivot and they're staying on. So this is really nice because then you can do some really cool poses with the guns facing forward and give you some interesting options as you're posing your toys. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope everyone's enjoying the kits. As you know, all the versions are pretty much shipping now, so you should have them in your hands soon, and thanks for all the support.